Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, in this Field Report segment, and I know that a lot of people think that this show is just all about fishing, and that's true. I mean, obviously in Oregon, we have a very odd hunting seasons here based on what kind of opportunity we have. Can be very, very restrictive, as y'all know. We actually have a call that's waiting right now in reference to how to draw a tag, which I'm going to tell you right now, that's a whole other challenge. But when I get the opportunity, if you've watched the show for long, we're in our 15th year. I'm hoping that you're catching on. When I can go hunting, I'm going hunting. It's really just that simple. I couldn't go after bandtail. The area that I wanted to be in, or typically would be in if we get that chance to chase them, which I haven't had a chance to even chase those things in a decade or more, was closed due to fire hazard, fire danger, whatever. But here in Oregon, we have great fee pheasant hunt opportunities at a number of different managed locations, right? And each year it's kind of interesting to see, well, how are these birds going to be? If you've ever participated in a pin-raised hunt, where these birds are not wild, they're brought in from someplace else and they're released into these wildlife management areas. You just never know, right? Are the birds just going to be little runners, they could go from one extreme to the other. This year, though, I'm telling you right now, very, very active birds. And it was sunny and warm with the day that I had a chance to get out there. But birds were on the run and certainly willing to get up and fly, which if you are a pheasant hunter, some people are like, they're not wild. I ain't going to go after them. I get that, but you're missing out because they're still just as delicious. Here's a couple of photos. And I absolutely love going after these things. It's kind of nice because you can get out, a little bit of exercise. It's nice for the dog to get a little bit of work. Obviously Drago is not an upland dog. He is a water dog through and through, but his nose is just unbelievable. And once he realizes that he's chasing pheasant, if you remember last year I had a chance to head to Idaho, chase some pheasant over there. Once he knows, okay, oh, that's pheasant. His mannerisms and everything changes he starts doing the side-to-side thing. It's just natural in a dog, right? Well, he jumped up a couple of nice roosters, one that had a really long tail on him, one that didn't have so long of a tail on him, and that could be a number of different reasons. But a 20 gauge with that Boss 3.5 ammo, I am telling you, I will probably never be a sub-gauge waterfowl hunter, meaning shooting a 20 all the time for ducks and geese. That's probably not in the cards for me. But saying that, with the right ammo, 3.5s in particular from Boss, a company from back east, I mean, it's expensive, but that ammo is just ridiculous. Both those shots were, 30-ish yards, 25 to 30-ish yards on the jump, everything. I mean, it was just epic. Anyway, as you can tell, I really enjoy going after them. But there's a lot of other opportunities. We're going to talk more about that now. Fishing. They opened up the Columbia below Bonneville. Matter of fact, I believe the entirety, but at least below Bonneville, all the way down, all the way through the end of the year. So we don't have to worry about a closure. All the same rules apply. I didn't mothball the sled, but I really didn't intend on taking it back out until I went either towards the coast or someplace else because the Columbia was going to be closed, right? Well, it's open and the fishing's been pretty good. And you can see here the numbers are certainly going down as they're going over Bonneville, right? You're no longer in the 5-digit realm, but still 5,000 to 6,000 a day that's going over. Not bad at all. I've got reports from up high from this morning, fish getting caught, and all the way down by the photo that you just saw a little bit ago at Davis Bar with fish getting caught. So there's certainly some great fishing opportunities to be had out there. Silvers, you can tell are certainly going down, but to hit 90 grand, that's pretty darn good. And there's actually a lot of silvers that are being caught in the main stem. Now, typically that's going to be around tributary mouths, right, depending on what part of the Columbia you're on, below Bonneville in particular, or above. But there's plenty of them around. When I get back from my elk hunting this upcoming week, if I do go fishing again, I will be targeting silvers. That's one of my favorites, and they're delicious. Steelhead numbers, 107,000 total. you know, of course, this is the time of year things start to slow down. But let's take a look at that 10-year average just to give you an idea what's going on with Chinook. And this is absolutely on par with a small bounce there. The red lines this year, blue lines last year, black lines the 10-year average. So yeah, it's just right there. Everything is pretty normal, except this little bounce here. Who knows? Maybe we'll see another little spike going over Bonneville before things do truly start to wrap up. But remember, even though you see these numbers get down into the just a few hundred, a couple thousand a day going over, latter part of September going into November, there can still be some fantastic fishing opportunities out there on the Columbia. So always keep that in mind, especially if you just want to get out and go chase them around. But don't overlook the coast. We're going to find out more from Big Dave here in just a little bit on how that fishery is up to this point and what he's expecting to have happen going forward. And for sure, this stuff will help you. If you send an email to Jason over at Procure, you're going to enter yourself in to have a chance to win a prize pack from them. Again, it's still slanted towards stuffer baits, either be super baits or spinfish or something similar. Certainly one that will help you catch more fish in the long run, no doubt about it, and take advantage of it while you can. Who knows? We got winter steelhead that's coming up not too far down the road. Maybe we're going to have to swap that up to more of a steelhead pack. But things are going to change, and what you're going to hear here from Katie in just a second is darn good things for all of us that like to spend our time on rivers. Now, again, maybe more so along the coast, but Katie, things are changing. And they're changing big here coming up, aren't they?
They are, at least for this week. We're seeing showers. I brought this up just so I could show you some rain and what is headed our way. Now, a few of you in the valleys and up into the Portland Metro maybe had a drop or two, but for the most part, what we're seeing here at Willamette Valley is what we're seeing once you get off the coast, and that is just cloudy skies and dry conditions. Now, the next 7 days are going to be so much cooler than we have been the last week. So we did drop into the 70s for the most part last week. We're going even farther and going to be hanging out in those 60-degree temperatures. As we've talked about in the past, it's hard to get to 90 degrees when you get this time of year for sun angle and the amount of daylight hours, and it reflects there on that high temperature record on Thursday is in the 80s. So here's what we have. Here's the big change. You see all of this rain that's coming in tonight. We have these showers staying with us till we get to right around midnight or so. Then we dry up for a few hours, and then here's the next round that comes in tomorrow. And this one off and on, but you'll see showers all the way through. Now we're into Monday night. Things start to break up Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe a few remaining showers Thursday, but looking like it could be about dry-ish Thursday, Friday, and then another system comes in next weekend. 3-day total potential of about a ½ inch of rain. The extended forecast also shows the overnight temperatures being cooler, still in the 50s, but we get back to below average once we get to Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings all start on the cool side. I think you're pretty happy about that, aren't you, Owen?
Oh, yes, but you kind of alluded to the fact it might only be this upcoming week. Are we still looking at maybe some warmer weather coming up after that, or is that too far out to even look?
Well, there's a ridge that's sitting past the next system that if it stays and doesn't break down, then we could be back to some warmer, drier weather for the first week of October. But that is, as we talked about, still too far out to say for sure, but that's what we're watching.
All right, well, that's okay. Any rain is good rain, and let's just hope that, like I say all the time, 2, 3, 5, 8 weeks of it, I'm good. Let's make that happen this time of year.
You'll get it.
Thanks, Katie. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to cut out. When we come back, we're going to have Big Dave Manners on the line. He's the owner-operator of Big Dave's Guide Service. Y'all know who Big Dave is, right? Big personality, big man, and a great guide. We're going to have a chance to check in with him from the coast in just a couple minutes. Don't go away.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, Because We Fish, by CCA Oregon, fish-focused, member-driven, and by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear.